The Metro franchise is one of the most legendary series in gaming, at least to me, with its roots tied to Roadside Picnic, a common stalker novel that basically birthed the post-apocalyptic vibes as we know them, specifically to games like the Stalker franchise and Into the Radius.
Also, yes, I know that Metro 2033 is based off its own book series, but it wouldn't exist without the Roadside Picnic, just saying.
The original trilogy of the Metro 2033 franchise is part of the holy grail of these Stalker-like games. I played through 2033, Last Light, and Exodus on stream, and I loved every goddamn minute of it. And those VODs, they're still sitting around somewhere. I swear they'll make it into the VOD channel eventually. So if you want to talk more Metro lore, hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitch, because I'm always down to talk about Artyom, the Metro, and the whys and whats of its plot mysteries. Now, a year or so ago, Paradox of Hope, a VR game that soon got taken down by the company of which no one knows, but we can probably connect the dots here, let's be a little honest. Once this takedown happened, it became a slow hype for a Metro game in VR for the VR community, and we got one with a sick trailer that built hype for the VR community and those who are also Metro fans, myself included. But let's not forget the legend that is Khan. A bit of a mysterious nut, but a trustworthy one, and not like an actual nut. He was a cool nut, one of the best nuts, and honestly a fan favorite for me as well. Which brings us to Metro Awakening, the first Metro VR installment of the franchise by Vertigo Games. It's a Khan origin story, diving into how he became the character we know and love. And let me tell you, becoming Khan has been a wild, fresh take on the Metro universe, especially after the bittersweet ending of Exodus. As a Metro fan, the story in Awakening hit the mark for me. It's a 10 out of 10 in my book. The story of Khan, the prequel of Khan, hit. It hit me good. Chills, top 10 inducing, Mario gold star earning, and even Walmart sticker worthy. There were moments that gave me the same goosebumps I got playing the originals, and it even got me with a few scares. That said, there's still this weird disconnect with Exodus, like what even happened to the little alien guys, the dark ones specifically. Did they just peace out of the plot entirely? I'm not sure. It's like Exodus was a fever dream, despite the story being compelling and it connected regardless. It's completely connected. I guess it makes sense though. The dark ones aren't there entirely, as they just need radiation to thrive, and the purpose of Exodus is to find a place without radiation. So just scratch that entire bit. If you watch the VODs and hear me mention that, ignore me, I'm dumb. And yeah, I still haven't read the novels, but after playing Awakening, I've got the itch to dive into them, especially since it had me reminiscing about the OG trilogy. I loved the games so much. But here's where things start to fall apart with Awakening. As much as I loved the story, the VR gameplay felt like it was lacking. And if you're new to the Metro universe and just jumping into this game, you'd probably think it's a walking simulator with an intriguing plot, especially since Vertigo Games seem to excel in these types of experiences. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Arizona Sunshine 1 and 2, but the common theme is there. And not knowing who Khan is, that's gonna hurt your experience. But even if you're a die-hard fan, there's something missing here. Where is the Metro feel? Sure, it's an immersive experience in some ways, wiping the gas mask, swapping the filters, charging your flashlight, charging points like rail cars, even for doors. But where are the iconic creatures, the weapons, the soul of Metro? There are only 2 guns from the original games, and not including the real-life weaponry of the Kalashnikov and the Tokarev. That's like a given at this point. And while seeing the Shambler in the trailer got me hyped as shit, the actual gameplay didn't deliver on that promise. I wanted crafting, markets, trading, and weapon customization, like the original 3. What I got was a linear story game that scratched an itch, but not the itch. The repetition of the game is obvious, blatantly so. Same enemy types, same railcar sequences, same weapons, same atmosphere the entire time, which became a dull experience after a while, despite how satisfying it was to load them. Specifically the Shambler, for me, it was such an amazing experience to actually load a Shambler. While it's not an actual real-life weapon, it still felt amazing. It's like a Metro Greatest Hits album on repeat, but they forgot to include the hits we really wanted, you know? Like the Bastard Gun, the Tikar, the Hellfire. There's a bunch of weaponry from the original games that aren't here. And before we continue to one of the biggest letdowns of the game, if you're enjoying the video or dislike the video, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. It lets me know if I should continue this kind of content. And if you want to talk VR or Metro, join the live streams and let's talk. Back to the video. Now, one of the biggest letdowns of Awakening is that we're stuck in the tunnels the whole time. Yes, the Metro is iconic and it is practically the premise of the entire franchise, but so is the surface. In the original games, the surface brought a whole new layer of danger and wonder. And here, we get one surface scene, that's it, and we're not even going to show you the other creatures. There is no demons. There's no Watchmen, there's no Librarians, no Spider Bugs, no Rhinos, just Nautilus and these weird tiny Watchmen knockoffs. Maybe baby Nautilus, I don't even know. This doesn't even make sense because Watchmen are normally supposed to be surface creatures. What even are these little guys, honestly? Infant Watchmen, Watch Kids, I don't know, I'm confused.
Editor note here, I just realized that they are the lurkers. These are the lurkers of the game. They just look completely different from the original lurkers. So, yeah.
But imagine being picked up by a demon in VR and just let go. I think while it would be a scary experience for those who are afraid of heights, I think that would be awesome. Or fighting off a librarian. Librarians are tough and scary and extremely menacing, but there's none. And by spider bugs, by the way, I mean not the ones in Metro Awakening, those really tiny spiders. I'm talking about those like spider crawfish looking things. They're not there. Now, I know Khan isn't meant to be a stalker in this prequel. He's a doctor at heart, but practically he became one in this game. They still missed a huge opportunity to expand the world beyond the Metro, and honestly, the lack of enemy variety makes the experience feel incomplete. Despite all that, the connection to Khan's story is what kept me going. I loved Khan as a character, and knowing what he actually came from, despite the hints in his original dialogue and DLC within the first 3 games, as a fan, learning the hows and whys of this compelling character was enough to keep me invested. But if I wasn't already a Metro fan, I'd probably just agree with the people calling this a glorified walking simulator, because that's all it is. It's just the same experience on repeat, walking about the entire time. I will say there is one unique weapon within the franchise, which I liked, but I didn't really use very often because you get it pretty much late game, and that's the blow dart gun. It was cool, but at the same time, not my style. I don't know.
Imagine dying from a fucking blow dart.
So where does that leave us? Metro Awakening delivers a solid story with a few chills and scares, but the VR experience feels watered down. It's immersive, sure, but it doesn't fully capture the magic of the originals. If you're a die-hard Metro fan, it's probably worth playing for the lore and story alone, but if you're new to the series, you might walk away wondering what all the fuss is about, and with a small chance of wanting to play the original trilogy. Still, there's hope. With a little more depth, variety, and stronger connection to the Metro DNA, a future installment could blow us all away, if they decided to make a 5th game. Hopefully with some amazing DLC that could be resolved, and maybe we'll get the surface that I want, maybe you want, and the original weapons. For now, I'm left reminiscing about the original games and wondering what could have been. And truth be told, Paradox of Hope probably would have been better if it didn't get taken down. It had more depth to it despite it being janky as shit. It had more weapon choices, no makeshift ones, but more depth regardless. It had suits, armors, backpacks, loot, and so on. A stalker experience that felt amazing. The story was also going great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That one-man team was doing fantastic. Now I'm curious to see though if Convergence will be a better Paradox of Hope, a better Metro VR. Even though it's not even a Metro game, it's not like a tunnel game at all. There's no connection to Metro. Don't take it down, please. Tell me though, what did you think of the Metro franchise? Did Vertigo Games do it justice with this prequel? Did you like the story of Khan? Let me know in the comments or come chat with me on Twitch. And until we cross paths again, raise hell.